All right, you asked for it. Big bird biology! So the first question, is Big Bird even a bird? And I'm gonna go with yes, but only barely. The closest living analog we have to Big Bird is a penguin with the upright posture and sort of flipper-like wing adaptation. Even so, there's some pretty obvious differences. The long trunk-like legs that are definitely not adapted for swimming or climbing or perching, really the only thing they're good for is walking, and slowly at that. Those flipper-like wings have split off, and the fingers in most birds that are adapted to control flight feathers have redeveloped into a gripping hand. Now this might be a sign that Big Bird branched off before the flight feather adaptation and the fingers all disappeared into the wing, or we can see it as a re-evolution of those features, sort of the reverse of what we see as mammals turning into whales and dolphins and their fingers getting subsumed into flippers. A really interesting question about Big Bird is what can we understand about its eating habits and behavior from its morphology? I'll focus for a moment on the beak. In most birds, you can tell a lot about what they eat by the beak, and Big Bird does have a really unique bill. It is dead straight, almost a meter long, and tapered down to near a point. Other birds with similar beaks, kiwis, sandpipers, storks, who all use their long beaks to get access to food they couldn't otherwise reach. So in narrow holes, deep in brush, or down underwater, places that they either can't or don't want to jam their whole head into. Also really interestingly about Big Bird is that he doesn't have the standard gooseneck. He can't reach down to the ground with its head without kind of getting down on its knees and crouching, which is really inconvenient. Stretching all the way down and up while standing, this beak can really only reach between about 4 and 9 feet. So we can tell that Big Bird isn't sifting through things on the ground or in the water, and can't be reaching into the treetops as bird can't fly or climb. So what we can assume from all this is that Big Bird is something of a specialist feeder, reaching that long beak in through probably dense and or thorny foliage of a specific kind of tree or bush to get a specific kind of food item. This beak is not going to be any good for tearing flesh or cracking nuts, so we're looking for something soft and probably calorie rich to support the size of body this guy has. That narrows us down to things like fruit or large bugs, and with those close together binocular eyes sighted right along the beak, I'm going to guess it is something that moves and he's got a peck at to grab before it gets out of the way. Maybe something like the giant weta of New Zealand. And actually an island like New Zealand with lots of other flightless birds makes sense as an environment for Big Bird. Lots of niches to carve out and not a lot of predators to put pressure against such a strange adaptation happening. Also, I write books, buy my books, okay, bye!